What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. You know what it is. We in them streets and we in these for 296 pounds, long length, height, speed, ran a 4.4. Look at that. He's in your hip pocket. Look at that. Open his head, fluid hips, control the receiver, ball skills, everything you want. This is that Michigan game last year. You know my boy Juju used to play for East Carolina, turned up. And he made a play in that Michigan game where he knocked the ball down out the end zone. I said, who was that? And I just kind of left it alone. And little did I know it was this guy that was going to be the next draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys. But if you can see how effortlessly he looks when he just opens his hips, turns and runs with the receiver. And even if you see look at the makeup speed to be able to make the play. And them long arms with that length, that's what's really going to get you by as well. And this is the game I'm talking about where I got to see him. You got a guy that can play press corner. You got a guy who can play zone and can sit there and look at the anticipation and be able to read the play. Not a lot of people can do that, and not a lot of people can make those plays like that. Now, I can see why they had him as a first-round grade. Dropped to the third, and we know why, because of the injuries. But if you're talking about just the play skills, out of this world. Oh, and let me get a shout out to Football Draft Films for the great film, and also the great Botch Lombardi, as he had a breakdown for Revel as well. So shout out for both of them for these amazing clips where you can really see what Revel can bring to the table with the Cowboys. Like I said, a physical guy. He's not afraid to tackle in the Eberflus system. You're going to have to tackle, and this guy can definitely do it. He's not afraid to get up in your face, and just look at him right here. The anticipation, the rundown. I just love what he does. And could you imagine a world if you had a healthy Trevin Diggs, a healthy Revel, and a healthy Bland? Oh my God, that would be absolutely nuts. I don't know if it would ever happen, and we'll talk about that after the video. But as I said before, you just don't see this all around here. And look at this, makes the interception. Watch this play. Sheds the receiver, didn't give the greatest block. Watch this. Stand up, get down. There's not a lot of guys that can do that, especially at the cornerback position. That's what you want to be able to see. Let's slow cook him, y'all, because you're going to need him for the future. What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. Streets. We in these streets. You know we in these streets. We in these work streets. And we about to talk about this cornerback I just made a video about, which I am excited about. From East Carolina, where my little homie Juju Wood went. Still mad that he didn't make the team. If Tennessee Titans cut my boy, Cowboys pick him back up, man. Him and Revel on the same squad. That'd be exciting. But today's the video. You already seen the first part of the video with the breakdown. Like I said, once again, shout out to Football Draft Files and the great Botch Lombardi for those good tape and clips. So Shavon Revel, East Carolina, 6'2", 196 cornerback. Obviously, we know about the injuries, but first I wanted to say something. I had to apologize because when we did, me and Mike White did a show, Burgers and Blitzes, and we were talking about the draft. Mike was real frustrated about some things, and we got on the topic of Revel, and he was like, "Man, bro, when we gonna stop drafting hurt guys? We always keep on drafting hurt guys." I'm like, "Man, he ain't hurt guy. He had the one. No, he had multiple injuries before that." I was like, "No, I was misinformed." So the main reason why I'm saying that, apologizing to my dog, because somebody jumped in the comments after that show and said, "Nah, Big, he had some major injuries, when he was in high school and things of that nature. So he done had some injuries. He got an injury history." And I said, yeah, once I did some checking up, I seen that. So I apologize to my dog first, Mike, because he was right on that. And second of all, I'll be honest with you, the last, I would say 3 years, I haven't been on my grind like I used to be, because these Cowboys has really frustrated me. I let my emotions get too involved with these boys when I just be talking about them. And I had to just go to the analytical side and leave the emotional side alone. It's just better for me. So with that being said, I'm going to keep it real. I haven't really just been on no Cowboy stuff, looking up stuff, going hard, reading videos, interviews, all that, because they just really pissed me off last 3 years. I just took my desire away to do it. And like I said, maybe the Shoddy effect is invigorated me, has gave me that new enthusiasm. But and I ain't drinking no Kool-Aid. It's just I do like to coach, Libra gang. But when you take the emotional side away from it, it's just better for you as a fan. At least it is for me. I can talk about the Cowboys more when I just remove the emotional side and just look at it for what it is. It's just better for me. All right, and that's my little rant about that. So I did some checking up on this kid, man. His story is a great story. He's got a great story. And this is why I'm excited for him, because of all this adversity, he's still here. All the adversity that he done went through, he's still here. And this is what I get more excited, because not only do you have the ability, you have been through adversity, you have went through adversity, and you have conquered a lot of adversity in your life. So somebody had brought up to me when we did that Burgers and Blisters show about he had a fractured skull and broken nose and all kind of things. I'm like, how'd that happen? So I went back in his past and checked out, from North Carolina, I believe. And he was in a car accident with his father and his other brothers. I guess his father had I don't know if it was like a seizure. Don't quote me on it. But it was like had a coughing episode, lost control of the car, and they went into the car ran into a brick wall. Revel had a fractured skull, broken nose, multiple injuries. Just that alone, you had a fractured skull, and you came back and played football. You're a beast. I know a lot of people might not want to play football with a fractured skull because you're using your head a lot, right? You're getting hit a lot right up in there. And to come back in a fractured skull, and this was in high school when he was a sophomore in high school, this happened to him. He recovered from that by the grace of God. And then the next year, he broke his collarbone. Missed his junior year. Had no D1 offers coming out of high school. But let me tell you something. I'm going to give big props not only to him, but his father. I can't remember his father's name, but I've seen him, when Shavon got drafted, and you could see the excitement. And then when I read the story and looked back at the info, I'm like, man, his dad is a monster, and he's raising a monster. Oh, this is gonna have a good ending. This is gonna have a good ending. So anyway, I already told you about the couple of injuries. He had no offers coming out of high school. His dad, though, stayed with it. Got enrolled at junior college. First year didn't play because of the pandemic, so he didn't even play his first year. Then only played like a handful of games his second year, this small junior college in North Carolina. And he was working at Amazon. And his dad was like, hey, I got my son's a Division I player. Like, my son can do this. Like, my son has a future, so let's try to make this happen. So shout out to you, Father, for not giving up on your son and not giving up, period. He took him to East Carolina, like a little tryout camp. They say he jumped, 11-1 in the broad, ran vertical was stupid high, and ran a 4.4, and you got a guy who's 6'2", damn near 6'3", doing that, rare. They say they offered him a scholarship on the spot, but he had bad, grades weren't the greatest. They said he had to maintain at least a 2.5. He had a 2.0 in junior college, but he said since they took that chance on him, he wasn't let slip by. And he came in, got them grades up, had a great first year. He, played a lot of special teams. Then the next year, 2023, 54 tackles, couple interceptions, pass defense, really turned up. And then you saw his first 3 games of the year. Then he tore the ACL. I mean, had 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, had 8 tackles already. So he was going to be a first rounder this year. The ACL, actually, obviously, you still would have been a first rounder even with a torn ACL. But with that history of the fractured skull, broken collarbone, your first year that you really could get some burn at East Carolina, you broke your hand, was out 3 games, then tore up your knee. That could say injury prone, right? That can definitely say that. Or you could say that's a misfortune with the car accident. That, that's not an injury prone thing. But you have to keep that in mind. But the thing that stood out to me, though, is the perseverance. He never gave up. Stayed going hard, got his grades up, stayed faithful, got better as a player. And then I was also reading at East Carolina where they said, The NIL deals were just starting, the transfer portal, NIL deals, all those things were happening. And they said, he was getting a lot of burn after that 2023 season. He was getting a lot of burn for him to transfer and go somewhere else where he probably could have elevated his game even more playing for a bigger school. But the thing that I loved, he didn't do it. He didn't enter the transfer portal after his fantastic June 23 season. And then when it's going into 24, he still could have entered it, and he didn't. So he showed his faithfulness. And the coaches even said that we couldn't offer a match with if another team came at him, but they appreciated how he didn't do that, and he remembered how they took the chance on him, and he honored that by staying with them, going hard, and look where it got him. Now, when I had that interview with Emory Hunt, Emory was excited about him. Thought he's a better prospect than Trevor Diggs coming out of college. I agree. I think he's better than Trevor Diggs as a defensive player because you can go back to that Emory Hunt interview. Emory says the biggest thing with Diggs was that he was a big game hunter and he hadn't really played the position. Well, Revel played quarterback, receiver, and corner, and safety. So he played multiple positions too. So he wasn't just strictly defense like I think we talked about on the show. So I want to make sure I cleared up that information. He was a guy that played offense too. But you can see he's a defensive guy by nature. You can just tell how he plays. That's a defensive guy. And we're talking about the future. I post some things on here where it shows the timeline of his injury, and the doctor says he'll be medically cleared. He's already medically cleared, but he can't really do anything until really camp. As much as I want to see this dude his first year, you could redshirt him this year if you wanted from me. This is a long-term thing. This isn't a year. We need him for a year. We only signed him for a year. We need him to play him now. This is your long-term investment. Take your time with this one right here. Slow cook him. Take your time with him because you got a dog right here. I really believe it. My only issue is with this is with the Joneses and Trevor Diggs going back and forth. He's got a team-friendly deal. They've been going back and forth. They're possibly taking some of his money, $500K, because of the injury, rehabilitation. It seems like it's a soap opera between them two, and I just feel like, man, they may not end good because of that soap opera. Then you got Deron Bland, who he's trying to get paid. Big money. And, they haven't offered him. They're waiting to see this year. 5th-round draft pick. You see he had the historic year in 23. Injuries came in 24, so the Joneses in the organization. Let's see you do it again. My video cut out on me, but I was about to end it anyway. So, end of the day, slow cook this young man. Take your time with him. He's going to be behind the 8 ball if he doesn't get on that field and you putting him in mid-season. He's going to be behind the 8 ball. So this rookie year might be a wash. Look for the future with him. I would love for that future to be with him, Diggs, and Bland, but I just don't feel like that's going to happen. I hope Diggs can come back, from his injury and be the real guy, because that may want them to keep you because you still have a team-friendly contract. And why would you let go of that? And especially if you had a Revel and then you had a Diggs and, like I said, a Bland in the slot. Ooh, that would be nasty. So we'll see. I was late to the party on Revel, but I'm here now. Like I said, I took my time off, just damn the Cowboys. But the shot effect and got me a little bit more energized. Take the emotions out of it. You can start making great content again. And there it is. Tell me what you think. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.